I always remember when I was a child the excitement of going to school. My mother made the terrible mistake of letting me have my own way because I was only 4 years old when I started school. Wasn't 5 until the 19th of January, so I was 6 months too early, I think, to go to school. I wish she had kept me out until I was 6, because they didn't have kindergarten then. And how she let me go at the age of 4 to school is beyond me. In that country school with the cold weather and rain, and we didn't have the raincoats, we didn't have the heavy clothes that we have now. But to school I went, and I can remember my mother having all the sewing to do before we went to school, because there was, I think at the time I went to school, there was 3 of us, for sure. My brother Ivor, Mabel, and I. And Ed was 14 months younger than I was. And then there was Fred and Violet and Stanley. Well, anyway, she had a lot of sewing to do before we started school, and she sure kept busy with the sewing machine. It was always fun to start school on the first day of school, because we were curious to know if there was any new kids that moved into the farmlands around there and who wasn't coming back. Some of the children didn't go the complete 8 years because they had to stay home to work to help their parents, help the fathers, especially the boys that had to help the fathers. Some of them had to drop out of school in the 4th grade. It seems unbelievable when you think of it now that any child would have to work on a farm at the that was in the 4th grade. Anyway, we were sort of at the mercy of the good teachers or the poor teachers, and I can truly say I think that the majority of them were pretty good, but some should never have been teachers. They usually painted the school, gave the floor a coat of varnish and painted the inside and washed all the windows before school started, so it was always nice and fresh, and it smelled nice and clean. And the school board supplied the library with new books and color crayons and pencils and papers and all, and it was just so exciting to walk into that little square library that wasn't more than maybe 8 feet by 8 feet, and but it had shelves all the way up to the ceiling, and all the books were lined up, and the papers were on, and the pencils and the pens and the ink and all that was paraphernalia was on the other side of the room. The teacher would ring the bell, and we'd all march in, and they ranged anywhere from my age, which was 4, to maybe 15 years old, and literally all grades, from 1st to 8th grade. There was only 2 of us in 1st grade when I went. My cousin Charles Leto and I were the only ones in the 1st grade, and then there was the other grades. The little children sat next to the window, and the seats kept going bigger and bigger until they got into the 8th grade against the blackboard, or the wall with the blackboard. We all had to stand up and salute the flag, and then we sang songs and gave our names. We had roll call, and we were all doled out one small box of color crayons and writing tablets, and each one of us got a pencil. We also were given Colgate's toothpaste and little toothbrushes and a small tube of Colgate's toothpaste which some of the kids immediately opened up and tasted it and probably ate it. It did taste very good. It tasted more like peppermint candy than toothpaste. The teacher would